the one and only Magic Johnson, here talking with me about these NBA playoffs. Before I get to anything else, we got the Clippers in the conference finals, not your Lakers.
That's right.
How you feeling about that, Magic Johnson?
Well, first of all, I'm happy for Coach Ty Lue, because I'm cheering for him always. The Clippers are there because they've earned it. You got to give them credit. Kawhi has dominated the playoff. Paul George is playing the best basketball I've ever seen him play, and they got a great surrounding cast as well. I'm not happy because I'm a Laker,
Right.
But I'm happy for Coach Lue.
Well, you surprised at all that the Clippers got this? Because the last 3 games or so, they did it without Kawhi Leonard.
No, I'm not surprised because Rondo, they got some good players. Reggie Jackson, probably playing his best basketball, will earn another contract as well. They've been shooting the ball very well from the three-point line. So give them credit. And the guy who's from New York, what's his name?
Terrence Mann.
Terrence Mann's been, 30-something points in a
39.
closeout.
39.
In a closeout game?
In a closeout game.
And Game 7. I mean, stepping up big time. So give Coach Lue a lot of credit, pulling all the right strings, doing a great coaching job. And Paul George is finally playing like a superstar.
I started off with the Clippers just to get that out of the way, but obviously this is a Monday, Sunday. We had a couple of games, Clippers in Game 1 against Phoenix. We'll get into that a little bit later. But the Philadelphia 76ers lost Game 7, Atlanta Hawks. And obviously, your friend and mine, Doc Rivers, not the greatest weekend in the world. Ty Lue takes the Clippers, wins a Game 7, goes to the conference finals for the first time in franchise history. Doc Rivers, the coach there the previous 7 years, wasn't able to do that. And on the same weekend that his successor takes his old team to the conference finals, Doc Rivers bows out in Game 7 to prevent from going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Your thoughts about what you saw from the Sixers?
Well, first of all, again, give Coach Lue a lot of credit. Doc Rivers' guys didn't show up. And the one guy who didn't show up was Ben Simmons. You got to play like a star. If you're getting paid like a star, you got to play like one. You were supposed to be aggressive, but they lost this series, Stephen A., in Game 5 when they were up 20-something points. 26 points. Let the Hawks, a young team, come all the way back. Coach McMillan of the Hawks did a great job in the fourth quarter where he said, okay, Ben Simmons, you're going to be out here? I'm going to foul you every single time. Ben Simmons went to the line, missed a lot of free throws, lost his confidence. Then they lose Game 7 because Ben Simmons don't have confidence anymore in himself or in his free throw ability. That's where they lost this series. I think also when you think about Embiid, he really played awesome. But I don't want to see him dribbling so much, right. Taking it coast to coast and all that. I want to see him next year give that to the guard, get out on the break, and let the other guys get into the floor of the game because you're going to need them. Tobias Harris got to be better, too, next season, right? Some guys got to step up. Danny Green hurt them, not having his leadership and his three-point shooting ability. And Stephen A., I think he would have helped Ben Simmons. Yeah, he would have helped.
Do the Sixers need to trade Ben Simmons?
Yes, got to trade him. It's not going to be great for him, and it won't be great for the Sixers.
But what about people who say he's just 24? He's young, he's just 24, and look at all the other talents that he brings to the table. Was a candidate, a top 2 candidate for Defensive Player of the Year, did a good job defending Trae Young, et cetera, et cetera. What about people who say 24 years of age, 6'10", can dribble the ball the way he does, pass the ball the way he does, defend the way that he does? Hold on to him, Stephen A. Hold on to him, Magic. What do you say to that?
I'm saying all of those things are true. But sometimes you need a new scenery. You need a new team because when you lose your confidence in the playoffs and everybody, your teammates, the town is counting on you to perform at a high level and you don't, you got to go then. He's got to go find a new home, somebody that can help him hone his skills, get better at free throws, get better at shooting the jump shot. I think he needs a change.
All right, so you were once the president of basketball operations. Last time I checked, not just a Hall of Famer and a 5-time champion. Where's the ideal landing spot for Ben Simmons, Magic Johnson?
I don't know the place, but he needs to be with a strong veteran team that he can look and say, you know what? I'm just the 3rd or 4th option on this team. Just like Andre Iguodala did when he left the Sixers, went to Golden State. He was that 4th option. It worked out great for him. He had a great career with the Warriors. I see the same thing happen for Ben Simmons wherever he lands. Well, he can go to the Warriors. That would be great for him because with Clay coming back and with Steph sitting there, two leaders, two champions who can say, and Draymond Green, who can say, hey, man, come here. You come up under my wing. I got you. All you got to do is do these things for us to win, and don't worry about it.
I can see where you're coming from with that because I can see him in Portland for C.J. McCollum. I would like that.
I like that.
Golden State, if you traded Andrew Wiggins in a first-round pick to get Ben Simmons, that might work because you got him there with Draymond and what have you. So and with Clay and stuff. So that's definitely a viable option. But let me get to the big story of the weekend in my mind.
All right.
That's the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets ended up losing Game 7 to the Greek Freak and the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's go to Milwaukee route first before we get into the Brooklyn Nets. You like what you saw from Giannis?
I loved it. I loved it. Listen, the last 2 years, we've seen him get frustrated and not understand what he had to do to go up against that wall when he was coming down on a fast break or half-court offense, and he was trying to go at his man one-on-one, and they built a wall to defend him. He got frustrated. This year, Stephen A., he didn't get frustrated. He said, oh, let me go to the post, and they can't build that wall. Let me also get my man one-on-one, but come from the side instead of always coming from the top of the key. He did some things different, and he didn't get frustrated when they fouled him hard. He went to the line, hit some free throws in Game 7. So this is a much improved, mentally improved Giannis, and that's why they were able to advance.
Maybe that's who Ben Simmons needs to talk to get his mind right.
Ooh, good suggestion. I would do that tomorrow. If I was Rich Paul, Ben Simmons' agent, call Giannis. What did you do to last summer to improve? Maybe that's what he should do there.
But knowing Giannis, he might not want to help him. That's the competition. They might not want to help him. Now, but let's get to the Brooklyn Nets. And I've been on the record stating this. You had Kyrie taking time off when he wanted to.
Yeah.
You had James Harden coming into camp out of shape. I understand he wanted to go to Houston, so I'm not as hard on him about that as other people were. But nevertheless, you might not have a hamstring injury that was plaguing you if you came into camp ready to play.
That's a great point.
Over to the season. You and Kyrie and Kevin Durant both signed off on Steve Nash. They didn't have to. No coaching experience whatsoever. A lot of people out there looking at the Brooklyn Nets and said they got their comeuppance. This is what they deserved because they didn't prioritize all the ingredients necessary to win a championship. What are your thoughts about the Brooklyn Nets in the aftermath of them going home?
Well, I think you're right, Stephen. And when you put your eggs all in one basket, relying on the three guys, right? Durant, Harden, and Kyrie Irving, then they get hurt. And now Steve Nash really got to do some coaching, right? And he wasn't that experienced coach, so he didn't know quite what to do, right? So that hurt him. And they didn't have the proper role players. See, to me, they still got to make some moves if they want to win a championship next season. Because right now, you don't need another scorer in Joe Harris. You don't need him. You need role players, tough guys who can come get you second possessions in terms of offensive rebound, who can lock somebody up on the defensive end, because those three guys are offensive-driven guys. So you need some tough, defensive-minded guys to go along with those three guys. So I say trade Joe Harris, bring in more guys, P.J. Tucker type, Draymond Green type, on and on and on. You need those type of guys if you're going to win a championship.
So with that being said, with the teams that remain in the conference finals, we got Milwaukee versus Atlanta. We've got the Clippers versus the Phoenix Suns. Who you got in the East?
I got Milwaukee. Experience, they're prime, they're ready, and Middleton is playing like an all-star right now.
What about the Clippers and Suns?
I think CP3 comes back and leads the Suns to the NBA Finals.
Milwaukee and Phoenix in the finals.
I want Chris Paul to win.
So do I.
You know, because of what he's meant to the league. But I'm going to pick Milwaukee.
Because?
Because I think that they play the styles. They can beat you in so many different ways, right? If Giannis is playing on top of his game, Middleton on top of his game. And then I think Drew Holiday will be able to control a little bit about what CP3 does in the finals. Not to stop him, but contain him.
Let me stay with you real quick and transition rather to LeBron James, because he made some news recently when he was going off at the league about bubble play.
Yeah.
He looked at all of these injuries that have been taking place, and he said, I told them we shouldn't have come back so quick. I think that's straight garbage in my estimation, not to knock LeBron, but I completely disagree with him. You have 4.5 months off before the bubble. Only 22 of the 30 teams showed up in the bubble. 6 of them didn't qualify for the playoffs, okay? And then the rest of them, most of them rather, played until September, and they were gone. And then you had about 4 teams playing from September into October. So the vast majority of the league, as far as I'm concerned, had plenty of time off. No excuse for all these injuries. You got to take care of yourself. But what was your reaction when you saw him coming at the league about, hey, I told y'all we shouldn't have came back so soon after bubble play?
Well, you know, it's you can do that after you lose, right? Now you're sitting there saying, oh, this is the reason why we lost. No, that's not the reason, not injuries. So for me, I think he shouldn't have said it, you know, and also, too, we can't use excuses, right? LeBron, you got that $40-something million check. Everybody got their check. Nobody was complaining, right? So I think that for me, if you lose, you lose. If guys get hurt, you get hurt. But don't make that be the excuse, right? To me, that 2 things happen. When you're a Laker, you don't make excuses. The second thing is, you know, I don't think it was right him promoting the movie right after we lost, too. You know, he should have waited next day, the week, to promote your movie. Don't come out on the same night as the Lakers lose and promote the movie.
Yeah, the same night you made those comments. And promote the movie.
Exactly.
Last question, from a generic perspective, looking at the league right now. I'm interested in knowing, how do you feel about the state of the league? And the only reason I ask that question, Magic, is because of my concern in this regard. There's an awful lot of stars, true, that have been down and have been injured. But in the same breath, everybody's prioritizing the postseason so much. You got guys sitting out, they ain't even hurt. They're sitting out to prevent themselves from getting hurt, which I've never heard before, especially with the money that they're getting paid. And one could make a legitimate argument that it's turning a lot of fans off. And I think NBA owners and the league itself are going to remember this come CBA time, collective bargaining negotiation time. What are your thoughts about where the league is right now in terms of a player mentality, about understanding the importance of going out there and prioritizing regular season play and giving the fans what they pay to see?
You have to. I'm so disappointed in the players when I look, and it's a national TV game, it's a big game, and we look at both superstars are sitting out for no other reason than talking about load management. That's not healthy for the league. It's not good for the league. We saw the numbers down, right? It's a reason for that. And so these guys got to say, listen, it's my job. I'm getting paid to play. I don't understand this whole mentality of I'm going to sit out because I could potentially get hurt. And it's not about my day versus this day. We played 82 games. That's what we did. We just went out because that was our job. And we wanted to promote the league, because if we promote the league, it's going to come back to us, right? So I hope that next season, all these guys say, listen, it's better for me to play. These 20,000 people paid to see me play. I want to play. And it's also good for my teammates. What happened to the Lakers? This killed the Lakers. LeBron couldn't play sometime. AD couldn't play. They got no rhythm. The Laker players didn't know how to play with them once they did come back. And it cost the Lakers a lot, right? Because they just struggled. We never got going as a team. So hopefully next season, AD will be healthy. LeBron will be healthy. The role players will know how to play with them, and the Lakers can play good basketball.
And you'll have your medical staff in place because they're changing, they're doing overhauls with the medical staff. So apparently it's their fault.
That's right. Even today they're doing overhauls. Yes. But, you know, I'm not in the locker room, so I don't know what happened in terms of injuries and all that and why they're changing. But I would say this. I hope all these players, superstars all the way down to the 15th man, be healthy and play every single game.
Yeah. As if I needed another reason to idolize you. You don't come in here with a suit like that on. I thought I was looking good. I thought I was looking sharp.
You are.
And then
You
you rocked that kind of suit. And I was like, damn, I wish I was wearing that suit. I think that would have worked today.
But that's why you and I work out so well, because you sharp, I'm sharp, and we talk basketball and give them the knowledge.
My brother, appreciate you being a part of Stephen A's world, my man.
Thanks for having me.
My man.
All day.
Thank you. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.